So welcome to our Stop Our World. This is Our World, day number 3. So glad to have you with us today. And I'm going to light the candle because I've got it here, but I haven't gotten it lit. Holding that energy within the fire. Letting the fire add to our energy field the qualities that it holds. So we're gathered here with the intention of owning our divine assignment to design a culture, policy, situations all around our star being nature, our soul's nature of divine good. And not only to design and call it forth, give birth to it, but then to identify anything that would bring danger to it or destroy it, what I call any agendas of domination, which can includes pretty much everything contrary to that which is good. It's our assignment as souls in female bodies to say, no, not in our world. Move that energy, the agenda from the energy, the agenda itself, the concept, move it to extinction. That's where we are in this day. We weren't there 20 years ago. And we weren't there 200 years ago. Because the energy of this physical bodysuit, which had the power centers for the unfoldment of our discernment, our authority voice into the heavens, and design an authority voice into the heavens, and eliminate all the energy that would cause entrapment, enslavement, damage, violence, etc. This bodysuit's wiring had been crippled 300,000 years ago with the Cro-Magnon body. And then it was further destroyed at 200,000 years ago with the Homo sapien body, so that the wiring that we had intended and helped design had been crippled from its intended 15 original basic chakras to 7 chakras of entrapment, which absolutely unplugged the power of authority. We have not had the voice of authority as intended since 300,000 years ago. So unique in this day is the discovery of that right, responsibility, and restoration of the authority, and the activization of that authority, which I call the Sophia voice, is with us today. So we are gathered in a very different way, place, awareness, and consciousness than had been our mothers, our grandmothers, and our great-grandmothers who survived in order, hopefully, to get us to this place. And we are here. So we're here in the sacred ground of sovereignty, fully aware of our responsibility and our right to declare, this is my space, my body, my world, my home, my life, and into the heavens. Anything that is contrary to that good, move it to extinction, back to its dust light, not out of my space into yours, not out of our world into another planet, into extinction. And we are gathered with clear communications into the world beyond, into our genetic stream of life, up through the Akashic records in a way that we haven't had before. That energy of the divine available to us in its true nature of all good. So we're gathered here to continue our work, our claiming, using the laws and our assignment, working with beings and teams and collectives who are aligned to that same outcome beyond our knowing, but beyond our imagination, but in our trust because we know they're there. We surround ourselves as individuals, all members of our family, our home, the land we are upon. All we're connected to in love. We surround them, cocoon them in a field we call the sixfold cocoon of protection and guidance and clarity and filling up with all possibilities of good, that we do our work up out of the mud, the matrix of domination. We are not here to fight it in any way because we are lifted up from it, even on a platform beyond earth, where there is clarity, respect, connections, and commitment to that outcome. So we are so gathered, grateful to Gaia bringing her and all of her life forces with us into that sovereignty and clarity. We claim all that we do in behalf of all life forms throughout Earth, our galactic worlds, and into Laniakea. So our circle and is set, our intention is set, and we are ready. And so it is. So welcome, welcome. So the first step, of course, is to place yourself into that field. That's the consciousness, that's the intention we've set. So you are holding a pillar right where you're at. He goes in at 19, about 94, I believe. I traveled between Salt Lake City, actually Ogden, Utah, and Boise. Made a few trips there for teaching. And I was on a journey from having taught in Ogden and traveling back to Boise, where I was living at the time. And as I'm driving in the car, I see this field kind of open up in the higher area of my vision. And I don't know that I had a question in my mind. It might come to me in a minute. But I saw in that field, it was like the earth. And there were candles being lit in various places on the earth. I didn't see people. I just saw the candles being lit, and the candles being lit, and the candles being lit. And I'm watching this. And then I heard the voice say, because pretty soon there were a lot of candles. Like, we are a candle. Each of you are a presence of a light today. And then I heard the voice say, there will be a moment in time when there will be enough candles lit that the ceiling, if you will, was like a wax ceiling that was creating not a barrier, but kind of a barrier, a soft barrier between those in the unseen, what we would call the heavens, and the earth experience. They said there will be a time when there will be enough candles lit that waxed barrier will melt away. And I just saw it melting, like pulling back, but it was being like melted away off to the side. And they said, when that happens, heaven and earth will come together and miracles will happen. So for me, that was in 95. I've heard similar visions, maybe in the last year, of others who've seen something similar. And what I want to bring to the table is that those candles aren't a number. It's not a number, because in the galactic mission, it's not about having enough number. We are not 100th monkey. That's not what it is. We are here with personal choice. One voice is powerful enough to pull back the curtain. So it's not about number. But what if it's about the ferocity of those candles? What if in this moment we claim that the brilliance of our presence, in this circle today, both those who are here physically and those who will be here virtually and by intention, that the ferocity of my presence is made a millionfold. The ferocity of your presence is made a millionfold. We can do that because we are ready for the miracles. That's me. How about you? Are you ready for miracles? Not timing, miracles to happen between the possible, unlimited possibility and what we have here, the limit. So let's, in this moment, you are a presence of truth, of light, of love, of peace, of creativity, of courage, of authenticity, of respect, of self-respect, a millionfold. A millionfold. I don't know how these days might be impacting your day or your night, but I'm finding, and I'm going to ask you, so you don't have to say anything, but you can. I'm going to tell you what I'm discovering. That when I wake up, and I have to wake up, you know how the drill goes, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And yes, I do have to go to the bathroom, but even if I don't, I seem to wake up like that. And because of what we're doing, I'm checking in with those who are holding the outcome. How is it being applied in the various parts of the world? Is our outcome being applied? Listening. Does it need to be stronger everywhere? Listening. Or checking in. Yeah. Or checking in with those, we're going to do that in a bit, those original females, checking in with them because we are going to be working with them. So I'm finding that I'm making sure I keep activating, anchoring, checking in with the work we're doing. So that's how it's impacted me in the last little while. And I'm just going to open the field for a couple of minutes so that anything you want to share, things that have come up, how you're finding it's working for you, new awareness, whatever, popcorn style. Okay. So
just yesterday, the day before, my husband came to me with a wooden box that he had made for me years ago. And it had gotten lost. We opened it, and inside was my grandmother's engagement ring. I hadn't seen it, I thought it was gone, stolen, lost for decades. And there it was. How interesting that it would show up as we're going through this process. And so I just hold it close to me and let the vibrations of her strength, because she was amazing, just kind of come into me. Thank you.
I was awakened again probably about 3.
That seems to be the magic hour. And I was asking, what is it I need to know now? And I was remembering back, oh, so many years ago. I'm talking 80s and 90s. I was experiencing being a channel, and then it all stopped. And I asked why. So all these years, when I can remember, I asked why? What's the deal? So this morning, I am a living channel, but I didn't understand where the power came from, and that it's not up to me when it happens. And at this point, I'm not in control of it. However, I have learned and changed enough that the information is going to be coming in more and more. How to be a channel of love and light. I'm not here to change people, places, or things. I'm here to spread love and light because that makes the change. And I don't want to interfere with that. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to block it. So I am just going to keep asking, what do I need to know now? And clarity. Because that's what takes me to the next level, and the next level, and the next level, and the next level of understanding. And this morning I got more information. What it means to be authentic. And it was so much more than I had imagined. So I'm just going to keep asking because the answers are coming. Thank you.
On my birthday in June, I surrendered to the universe that I was no longer in control. And my life has been so opened up. It's unbelievable. The pain that I held in my heart and would go to the doctors for decades, a little black hole that felt like an arrow stabbing, just disappeared, and the inside felt like it was a clean, slick white slate. And I decided to email a dear friend of mine that I hadn't seen, but I remembered him saying, it was my 70th birthday, and I remember him saying that he lived past 70 years old, and then he disappeared. So I wrote him kind of a funny little email and said, well, if you're reading this, you must be alive, and I hope everything is well. And the response was, I've been waiting for this message every day for 3 years. So we've gotten into communication, and since then, men are approaching me and feeling comfortable telling me the wounds that they have suffered at the hands of religious issues. So I'm trying to figure out, and I know I'm supposed to be a service something, so I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to speak. Definitely my voice has come open, whereas before I was cut off. So I'm here hoping to learn something from all of you so that that voice will become stronger, but maybe it's more of a whisper and a silence instead of my old anger of feeling constrained.
Yeah, I think was it last Friday evening, the Friday before, whatever. I was just really, really angry, and then I couldn't sleep and I don't get that angry very often. And it really, nothing was going on that in my world that would have made me that angry. And finally got up at 1 or 2 in the morning, my time, and turned on the TV. And just a little while after, they started announcing that Hamas had invaded Israel. And then today I started feeling really headachy, flu-y stuff. And then they announced more things in Gaza, in the hospital and all. So it's like, okay, it's correlation, not cause, but I need to see if I need to put on something that I don't need to feel it to perceive it, but I need to be doing more work. Thank you.
And for me, it's just continuing to put one foot in front of the other, pretty darn clear on what my mission is and always has been, but often getting overwhelmed with externalities, the world, people, stuff, pain, and just clearing. It's this constant process of being aware of not letting it accumulate and overwhelm me, or I just sometimes feel like it could take me out. It seems like there's such divisive forces happening now to try to do that to people that are awake or awakening. And it takes a tremendous amount of awareness. And that's why I said courage. Just keep going one foot in front of the other every day, with complete trust, and knowing we're co-creators with Creator. That is why we're here. And I just appreciate all the women and all the work that's done in this way, in this direction, where we can strengthen each other in this way and share our hearts like this, and keep propping each other up, because we need to do that. Thank you.
I'd like to add something to what Deborah said about Israel and Hamas and what's happening. I have a constant sense of fear, and I don't know of what. It just won't go away. Then the phone rang, and it was a woman that I'd grown up with in Bermuda when we were toddlers. And she said, I feel you. I can't stop but call you to let you know that I care. And I'm worried for you. I haven't spoken to her in so many years. And here we were. And I feel like somehow the cosmos hears us, loves us, and will come to us to support what we're doing. Totally unexpectedly, but joyfully.
It seems to me that as people are waking up and awakened, that everything is amping up on the outside. The wars, one thing on top of another. There, to me, it seems to be a conscious escalation of, I don't know, however you want to say it, negative or evil or opposing forces. There's always that balance. But I think I think a lot of people are feeling fear right now, a lot of additional fear, and it just keeps amping up. And I think this work is so important for us to stay grounded like this. And when we feel that, just to do the work, to remember the work, to connect ourselves. I really respect what you just said, Deborah, because that is I think that is the intention, to amp up the fear, to divide us, not just from each other, but from ourselves. So when I say courage, it's like, no, I'm gonna stay glued to my soul purpose and life mission. And sometimes it feels like I'm coming apart at the seams in that effort, because every time I put one foot forward, something comes up to knock me down, but I know what's happening. I mean, I know it's happening. And it's shocking sometimes because it's women against women. Sometimes things don't come from the outside, but from the inside. People are so, like Sharon, we've lost our way so much that we can't even rely on sisters sometimes, which is why I really appreciate these spaces. So I'm kind of babbling right now, but thank you all again very much.
When I first moved here, someone had indicated that there was a pastor who was doing some interfaith work, which was really exciting to me. And I think I tried to contact him and didn't hear anything back. So when I was at the service on Sunday, one of the women I knew, we greeted and kind of compared notes, and I got an email later asking me if it was okay if she sent my information along with the idea that I've been convening Jewish women together on a monthly basis and have been doing that for the past couple of years as a contact. And I'm kind of jazzed again because for me, things don't happen when I want them to happen. Things happen when it's the right time to happen. And I think that's going to help with this overwhelming sense of frustration I experience. Any alternative health person I go to always talks about my liver, which is the seat of frustration. And sometimes I don't feel it in my body until it gets to a certain level, and then I have a horrible headache or recently vomited, and then I was okay. So for me, I'm trying to sit with the patience that the opportunities are going to come, and that I make those statements to be open to receiving those, but then to sit back and be patient and wait until the stars align till the right time. So that's where I am currently. Thank you.
Just wanted to add on, have all of this negativity. It's like reading the newspaper. It's just all negative. And it takes me, 3 minutes to feel negative and overwhelmed. But I started saying, I'm not going there anymore. I'm done with that. I'm not going there anymore. And it's just, I find it amazing that I have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I just woke up negative. And now I have the choice of staying negative or moving into something positive. And to have that choice empowers me. And I believe how I got here is that constant clearing away of the past, constant clearing, limiting beliefs, constantly clearing the trauma and the drama that I have experienced, so that I have a clean, clear playing field. And
we've done a lot of that for others. We've done a lot of that for ourselves. And I just feel like that's kind of like the key, the magic key that opens the door to have the power to say, I am done with drama and trauma in my life and around me. And I bless everyone in humanity, because if you're not done with it, you're just not done with it. And we are the example. We can move on. We don't have to stay stuck in drama and trauma. And that to me that's everything. That's the doorway. That to me is the key. And I just find it amazing miracles on the other side. And there's going to be more and more and more of what we call miracles. And Spirit says, this is just the norm. Miracles are just the norm. You guys just don't know it yet. Everything is up until today. And I'm just choosing it to just do it different. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I want to put us on the galactic landscape. In our galactic worlds where we existed before Earth, the invader, outsider, patriarchal types had already invaded our space and owned us. The only place that love existed and only existed was in home, which was not where we were. We'd already moved into other extended situations, and we were owned by parasitics who deceived, who controlled, who puppeted us as souls. Therefore, Earth's mission was one of the plans. In fact, it was a last-ditch effort, because if you are the host for a parasitic, you will die, because the parasitic will eat you up, and then you're dead. So we needed a way to get rid of the parasitics, because they're the ones who create mind control, who generate fear, who generate violent separation, so that they can continue to weaken us. You're not enough. You're not good enough. We'll turn all your power over to us. And we had. Earth mission, first and foremost, was to make that energy visible, called the law of manifestation. The reason it is getting bigger in our world today is because we have not pulled out all of their agendas and the seeds. And until that work is finished, they will continue to manifest bigger on the planet. Now, those who are waking up are not the cause of the manifesting of outsider energy. They are bumping into it, aware of it all of a sudden. But the law of manifestation is the reason we are seeing the violence, the rape, the cultures of absolute destruction in the world today, as we had intended it to be. So making energy visible and doing something with it to eliminate it or expand it is our job. So here we are, taking our assignment back as souls in female bodies, saying nowhere in our life, our home, our country, our world will we say, oh my gosh, normalize rape, normalize war as a way to peace. No, we're not going to do that any longer. We were never intended to do that, but we got unwired, and we were walking around in crippled bodies, trying to figure out how to do what we were doing. It's a perfect time to be awake, and not only be awake, but to be able to go around the bend. Remember the story? Upstream, to find why in the world are babies being sent down the river in baskets. Why are we having the symptoms of homelessness, guns in the school, country against country, terrorists against terrorists? Why are we doing that? We can be here in our village picking up pieces or we can go around the bend and get to the cause and say, absolutely, pull it out. Extinction is the word. That's what we're about. So when you feel your own personal, whatever it is, I'll say you get triggered. We do get triggered. We get triggered into fear. We get triggered into powerless. We get triggered into hopeless. We get, if whatever is in us, whatever old patterns we're carrying from ourselves, our families, early childhood, female psyche, male psyche, humanity, we all have these little seeds that we don't even know where they came from. And all of a sudden we get triggered. So be aware when you get triggered, like first question to ask is to the energy intelligence causing the emotion, are you of the light? In other words, are you trying to get me a message, something I need to heal or something I need to take on? Are you of the light? And if it's no answer, or the answer's no 3 times, or wishy-washy, it's energy from outsiders. And immediately say to PTO this energy, wherever it's coming from, however extensive it is, network, wherever it's coming from, deep six it to extinction. Just get the feeling if it's not yours, you're not going to heal it. You don't want to coexist with it either. Deep 6, move it to extinction. If the answer, are you of my light? Yes. Are you of my light? Yes. Because fear might be of your light. Worry might be of your light. Not enoughness might be of your light. Yes, I'm of your light. Okay, I hear you. Now you've got a little 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 12-year-old, somebody who needs to be heard. And so then you say, what is the message you have for me? Maybe it's a 3-year-old that has been sitting. It gets stored in our body. We know that. So scared. But he's 3. She's 3. And she doesn't have to hold the fear for you anymore. I get it. I forgot you were there. Thank you for keeping that pain away from my heart so we could grow up. And now I'm placing you in the hands of divine good. The angels, Mother Mary, whatever is good for you. And I'm moving you into that field of divine good because you've done your job. Now you get to celebrate. You see? Galactic and Earth mission has that concept.
Can I say something? Yeah, that really touches me because that is so, it's also profound because what it requires, what you're saying is a really deep, unwavering faith and surety and belief that it's true, that we are enough, that our voice is enough, that our words are enough, the declarations are enough, the awareness of what is our light and not is enough is, we can depend on that it's the way it is, it's the truth. And the conditioning is, and I do believe that, but like I say, there's all these forces because the conditioning is so strong in the opposite direction, but it almost makes me want to cry because it's so absolutely profound yet simple, because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's all I want to say, how profound it is and how simple.
It's simple, but it's not easy. And sometimes you'll be in a state of crisis because there'll be a lot of that program that will come one right after another. And it's because this, did you know you've got this stored and this stored and this stored in it, like you could feel overwhelmed. We aren't trusting anything other than the law that says if it's in you, it will show up. And you are the authority. And it's gaining the strength that we are the authority. Sue spoke to it. She's at choice. She wasn't at choice 4 or 5 years ago, but man, she never let go. She, yes, our walk to be getting more and more clear about I'm authority, I'm a star being, my divine nature is, and all this other shit, unquote, programming. And I won't play the game anymore. And then having the tools to eliminate it as quickly as possible. So what I want to do now, and this will be the one thing we do before we close today. The mothers, those original, I'll call them mothers. I recognize that original star beings in female bodies did not birth children. They are not the mothers of the children at that point. They are the mothers of our world, our culture, our policy, our environment, our connection to Earth. They birthed life itself, not in babies yet. We would have never birthed babies into the shitty, toxic world it has become. That was part of outsider ownership, more slaves. Back there are those star beings in female bodies who danced together, who designed together, who talked about it together, who sent messages throughout the ethers. Man, look what we can do on this planet to make things physical, to be supporting, to be beautifying, to make the lush gardens. And it wasn't the end, but once they had made those lush gardens, that's when the outsiders became aware of their presence. Just like today, when you start being bright and cheery and shining, the outsiders will notice you and try to crush you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to allow that to happen because we have women who are stepping into authority and guardianship. So back in a village where the gardens were lush, it was ready for the mission of recognizing outsiders to be activated. They had tasted good. They knew what their dreams felt like. They knew what their visions brought. They knew how they interacted with each other. They tasted all kinds of good. We do not need to know evil to know good. We need to know good in order to identify that which is evil or would constrict or destroy it. And when that was discovered and they were unplugged from their authority voice, we didn't get to the next place, which was outsiders extinct. And they owned the male bodysuit. That's why our soul members in male bodysuits have been crippled and used to destroy and then live with that destruction in ways that we in female bodies have not experienced. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that village. And we're going to bring the power that they still have. And now they're aware we need them. They didn't give permission for everything to go downhill. No way. They still have clear connection, different energy than we even know about. But we're going to go back, connect with them, and do the next most important thing we can do. So be with me and then let's go. So take a breath. And all that we feel, sense in our world today of destruction and fear and anger and violence, we turn over to the black box, the PGOs. You have it. Because we are freed. We are sovereign. We're going back to our original. We're going back to those women who 600,000 years ago landed in colonies, in villages, and created. You each have guides to help you get there safely, joyfully. Feel the voices of our star family members in female bodies calling to us. They calling to us. They're aware. We told them yesterday, and they need more. And we effortlessly move and gather in a conclave that includes all of the villages, however many there were. They landed and we are there with them. We in the female bodies of this future, they in the female bodies original. Get a sense of what it feels like with them. They are firm in their knowingness of what it is their dreams, their visions, their policies have created. They have so anchored the lush garden and the communities of respect and joy in every part of their physical body also. No storage of junk in their bodies, just the storage of good. I'm going to say to them, we need you today, this moment, in this future called October 17th, 2023. So I ask them to put on their cloaks, their shield. We're going to cocoon them. If we need those vehicles they call UFOs, who? Fine. To bring those women here. As we bring them to our sacred place, sense that place, a grove, a fire, a river running by, all the elements of Gaia. And we open up our vision to the men in our world today. In our world today. And we ask to be shown, and those ancient women to be shown, the corruptions within the male body suits and the male souls that is absolutely corrupted energy of outsiders. So that entire billions and billions of networked networks that were outsider created light up, and we see how infested, how crippled, how saddened, how used. We put all of that in a black box. We see it, we name it, freeze frame it. We call in the Sophia Collective, that sisterhood holding the authority voice, which is the same voice that our original mothers had ready. The question we ask into this circle of sisterhood, women, wise ones, do we accept the networked of the outsiders, their ownership, their marks, their corruptions? Do we accept it? I want you to hear the roar. Feel the passion and the tenacity of the roar. Do we accept it? Will we normalize it? Will we allow it? If you're hearing like I'm hearing and feeling like I'm feeling, it is huge, and the answer is not in our world, not in the galaxy, not in Laniakea. It is to be made extinct now. We put our staff in the ground, we put our sword in the sky, and we say, PTO beyond. Remove all of the energies from outsider agendas, whether we call it corruption, whether we call it greed, whether we call it war, whether we call it patriarchy, does not matter. It's all the same. Not in our men, not in our soul members, not anywhere. It is to be made extinct. In making that decree, we ask that the heavens open for the power of a woman's heart, our female bodysuit heart grace, to flood those spaces everywhere. The love, the light that restores all good. And then ask any question you may want to ask, or receive any information that is there for you specifically. This will not end, this decree will not end until the extinction is complete and the restoration to all good is restored. But what is there for you? Just listen, sense, and make a note. So when you feel complete, we turn this entire declaration for all time, space, energy, life force, worlds over the teams who are prepared to complete. Thank you for your work with us. Thank you for your presence. With a breath, bring yourself back to a moment of stillness. Breathing stillness. This is where you let go for now and let the greater intelligent field of life do what needs to be done. Breathe into stillness. And as you are in unlimiting flow from your divine family of stars, ask that whatever energies is waiting for you to come from that place beyond, to inspire, to lift, to support, or to just embrace, open those gates and let that fill you. When you're ready, you can bring your attention back to the circle here in this moment. And as we get ready to leave the circle, anchored here as a pillar for us, let's just go around and what is maybe a word, a takeaway, whatever you want to place in the circle for the field to hold, to anchor till we meet again. It'll just take a couple minutes to do that. I'm going to anchor gratitude.
Profound peace.
The power to speak truth.
Feet on the ground.
Compassion and unconditional love.
Freedom.
Openness to the light.
This will sound weird, but the urge to clean.
Not weird. I just finished my closet.
And when I say feet on the ground, I mean connection to earth with feet on ground.
Thank you for all for being here. What an amazing unfoldment, because you directed it to be this. So with our candles gathering up all that energy and our presence being a candle expanded a millionfold. The circle will hold us. It will protect us. It will broadcast our blessings until we meet again. Much love, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.